Ooh. Oh, I need to make sure that this one doesn't show. Okay. Muy bien. Ok, muchachos, pues bienvenidos a otro video más de mi canal. Guys, welcome back to another video for my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Hopefully, this is big enough for you. I wonder if it's... Okay, I'm going to try to check first before I continue because I want you to see what I'm going to do today. I'm going to try to actually to show you how, in my mind, as a Spanish native speaker, I would translate something in English from English into Spanish. So this is from a TV show that I'm watching. If you already have watched some of the other videos that I'm posting recently, the last or previous streams, you know what I'm talking about. So I just want to make sure that you can see at least the letters. Let me see. They're too small. Let me see if I can make them a little bit bigger. I have an idea. Okay, so just give me one sec. No, I think this is fine. The thing is that I have to make it bigger here. What? Oh, what's wrong? No. Hey, what happened? Disappeared. Okay, I don't know what's wrong. What? Are you serious? That's so weird. Okay, so I'm trying to use my mouse, and all of a sudden I don't see the little arrow. Arrow? Is that the word? Ah, geez, that's so bad. How can I now? Oh, it's working. Okay. It is working. That's really strange. And now I think nobody's really watching. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, but now I can see. Oh, there's 3 people. I'm so excited. Welcome. Okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger for you. So yes, welcome back. I'm practicing English. I'm glad that you're here, and hopefully you're gonna learn something today. So okay, doesn't matter if you cannot see me. I'm not the important part here. So once more, this is probably, if you already watched some of the streams that I've been doing recently, you know the script. Before I even look at it, I'm going to try to show you how much I have memorized. And then I'm going to try to... So this TV show I'm watching is on Netflix, of course. And I think this TV show also has their own Spanish... I don't know what to say, like, like it's in English, that's the original language, but it's also doblado. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Like it's in Spanish too. Like the audio can be also in Spanish. So they already have the Spanish version, or not the Spanish audio for the TV show. But I haven't really checked the Spanish version because I want to translate it with my own words to make it sound as natural or as much natural as possible, if that makes sense. So anyway, first of all, the first part, this video is just for me to practice. If you find it cool, you find it useful, I don't know, you can share it. That's what famous YouTubers say. You can share it, give it a like or whatever. I don't really care. I'm just here to practice. If you want to imitate what I'm doing, go for it. Definitely, this is a good practice for me. You can just make your own YouTube channel and do exactly the same thing. I don't mind at all. This is not a new idea or anything. So yeah, I'm gonna try right now. Our story is about a small town, and the people who live in the town. From a distance, it presents itself like many other small towns all over the world. Safe, decent, innocent, Get closer though, and you start seeing the shadows underneath. The name of our town is Riverdale. Our story, yeah, and a story begins, I guess, with what the Blossom twins did this summer. On the 4th of July, just after dawn, Jason and Cheryl Blossom drove out to Sweetwater River for an early morning boat ride. Then something happens in the TV show, and thunder crashes. I think I wrote it, and I don't remember. And then the girl says like, "Jason, are you scared?" I guess that was, yeah. Jason, are you scared? Okay, then the last thing we know happened for sure. I think so. The last thing we know happened for sure is that um, this kid, I forgot his name, who was leading, um, leading Riverdale's Boy Scout troop on a bird watching. I cannot remember that part. Okay, I'm gonna read it. Okay, well, I haven't practiced this script for a while, so okay, I'm gonna just read it. Our story is about a small town, and the people who live in the town. From a distance, it presents itself like many other small towns all over the world. Safe, decent, innocent. Get closer though, and you start seeing the shadows underneath. The name of our town is Riverdale. Our story begins, I guess, with what the Blossom twins did this summer. On the 4th of July, just after dawn, Jason and Cheryl Blossom drove out to Sweetwater River for an early morning boat ride. Jason, are you scared? Oh, that was before the thunder crashes. Okay. And the last thing we know happened for sure was that Delton Doyle, who was leading Riverdale's Boy Scout troop, I think it goes like, uh, I don't remember. Okay, but yes, that's what's happening. But today I'm going to be focusing on actually translating from English to Spanish. So this is probably the part that you're going to find interesting, I guess. So I'm going to start with the first part, which is our stories about a town. So I'm considering that if I was telling this story as if it wasn't like a real TV show, just me telling this story, literally, if you want to say our stories about a town, you would say nuestra historia, our story is sobre un pueblo, a town. Our story is about a town. Nuestra historia es sobre un pueblo. But to be honest, even though that still is a good translation in my own opinion, personally, I think I would prefer to say esta historia. It's just something that you feel. I don't know. I don't know. I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Sometimes when you're translating from one language to another, in this case, Spanish, English to Spanish, I think that you can translate literally, but if you did the same from Spanish to English, I bet that you would feel like, oh, this phrase is like too stretched, if that makes sense. So, well, this is what's happening right here. In my opinion, I would prefer to say esta historia instead of nuestra historia. Okay, esta historia, which actually would be in English this story. So yeah, it's just my personal my personal way to see it. So esta historia es sobre un pueblo, town. The word town could fit perfectly well with pueblo. Pueblo, like in Latin American countries, at least in my country, it's just like a little. It's not even a city. It's just like a little community. Like the towns in the states. In this case, I think the TV show is talking about states. So pueblo. Okay. So the next part, a small town. Un pueblo pequeño. Small town. Oh, sorry for that. Let me change my. Okay, un pueblo pequeño, small town. Un pueblo pequeño, right here. and the people who live in the town. Y, ok, so esta historia es sobre un pueblo pequeño. Y sobre, hmm, y sobre, I think sobre is again about. So sobre, as you can see, I use the word here too, about, sobre. Okay, y sobre, and the people who live, y sobre la gente. I think this is an important word, gente. La gente would fit perfectly well with the people. La gente, all right? So la gente, um, sorry, la gente who live in the town. Que vive, who live in the town. So it's funny. In English, it makes total sense to use in the town. But since in Spanish you're talking about this specific town, I would say y sobre la gente que vive en uh, ese pueblo. Let me just read it once more in Spanish to feel. Okay, so esta historia es sobre un pueblo pequeño y sobre la gente que vive en ese pueblo. Yeah, it makes total sense. So, uh, again, I don't know why I feel always amazed by how the languages can change from one to another, even though you can literally use or translate the language from one to another. Sometimes it's just like the way you feel is the way it's going to sound. Like right here, I'm translating, and you could just translate word by word, and I think it would make a lot of sense. But by making these little changes, that's why it gives you the feeling of, oh, this is well translated, in my own opinion, of course. And thank you again. I have 4 people watching. I don't know, whoever you are, I wish I could see you, at least your name. And if you want to comment on here or you want to correct me, actually, that would be even better to get corrections. Even in my pronunciation, if you guys can help me, that would be super cool. Anyway, esta es una historia sobre un pueblo. Our story is about a town, un pueblo pequeño, a small town, y sobre la gente que vive en ese pueblo, and the people who live in the town. Okay, period. From a distance, a la distancia. From a distance, a la distancia, it presents itself, se presenta a sí mismo. Okay, here I think that I would say something different, but I'm trying to be a little bit strict with the way I'm changing the story. I don't want to change the story too much till the point that it has nothing to do with the original one. I could make it sound more like Spanish in this case. Instead of saying a la distancia, se presenta a sí mismo. From a distance, it presents itself. But like if I'm not thinking too much, I would take that definitely. It's still fine. A la distancia se presenta a sí mismo. From a distance, it presents itself like many other small towns. Como muchos otros pueblos pequeños. Pueblos pequeños. Should I close the window? I think it's a little bit noisy. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna close the window. Okay, that's way better. Oh, wonder if one of the connections is myself. We'll see. Yeah, probably was myself. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so esta historia es sobre un pueblo pequeño, y sobre la gente que vive en pueblos pequeños. Okay, perfect. So, for many other small towns, okay, right here, all over the world. A la distancia se presenta a sí mismo como muchos otros pueblos pequeños. To be honest, I would just say en el mundo, which would be in English if you translate from Spanish to English, in the world. Super easy. Sometimes I think that it's just the way it is. Like we just don't go all the way and say many words en el mundo. And to me, this sounds more natural. All over the world, en el mundo. Okay, so from a distance, a la distancia, it presents itself, se presenta a sí mismo, like many other, como muchos otros, small towns, pueblos pequeños all over the world, en el mundo. A la distancia se presenta a sí mismo como muchos otros pueblos pequeños en el mundo. Okay, then we have safe, seguro. I still struggle a lot with when can I use save or safety. But I guess this is just something that I need to learn. So far, I can use save, seguro, to describe a place, right? Safe, seguro. Decent, decente. It's a good cognito. Decente, cognito, is that the word? I don't remember. Decente, it's almost the same as decent. The pronunciation is a little bit different. Innocent, inocente. Entonces we have seguro, decente, inocente. Safe, decent, innocent. Here, get closer though. I would say this literally, pero si te acercas, even I would even say, pero si te acercas un poco, get closer though. Pero si te acercas un poco, here, get closer though. Pero si te acercas un poco, like literally, if you translate this idea, the English one into English, the Spanish, the Spanish one into the English would be, or into English would be, but if you get closer a bit. But in English, the original script would be get closer though. But we cannot translate, or at least not in my opinion. It would sound a little bit strange if you translate that. So, pero si te acercas un poco, get closer though, and you start seeing the shadows underneath. Pero si te acercas un poco, verás, start seeing the shadows. I'm going to try to say empezará. No, get closer. Acércate un poco. Okay. I'm going to try to be a little bit strict here. I'm going to change it. Okay, let me think. Esta historia es sobre un pueblo pequeño, y sobre la gente que vive en ese pueblo. A la distancia se presenta a sí mismo como muchos otros pueblos pequeños en el mundo. Seguro, decente, inocente. Okay, yeah, I cannot do that. Pero si te acercas un poco, empezarás a ver shadows. Shadows is like sombras. Empezarás a ver sus sombras. It's shadows. Sombras. Hold on. So, and you start seeing the shadows underneath. Pero si te acercas un poco, empezarás a ver sus sombras. Las sombras que están debajo. Yeah. Ver las sombras que están debajo. So it's really funny to see how here it changes so much till the point that it's still saying the same, but here In English, he's talking in present. Get closer though, and you start seeing the shadows underneath. And in Spanish, I'd say, pero si te acercas, but if you get closer, un poco, a bit, un poco, empezarás, this is future tense, empezarás a ver las sombras que están debajo. Okay, sorry for that. Están debajo. Shadows underneath, or the shadows that are underneath. That's kind of like interesting, right? I think it's very, very interesting to see that. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Okay, so our story begins. Yeah, so now instead of me repeating our story twice, because the first part is our story, and then here our story again. So now I can say nuestra historia. So it's interesting that you can say here our story like historia, but also could be cuento. Huh. No, but I think I still prefer historia. So our story begins, nuestra historia comienza, I guess, supongo. This is a really useful word in Spanish. I guess, supongo. I guess, supongo. Okay, so our story begins, I guess, nuestra historia comienza, supongo, with what the Blossom Twins, con lo que I've seen many people having problems to use the correct word or expression for what in this context, with what the Blossom Twins did this summer. With, of course, is con right here, con. But if you want to say with what something blah 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 blah, con lo que. With what, with con lo que the Blossom Twins, los gemelos twins, gemelos blossom, right? Okay. Nuestra historia comienza, supongo. Okay, let me think. Nuestra historia comienza, supongo. Okay. Actually, I think that I wouldn't put supongo here. I think I would actually say supongo que, I guess, supongo que nuestra historia comienza con lo que los gemelos Blossom. Okay, yeah. So I guess you can still put it in the same spot as the English version, but I think to me makes more sense if we put it at the beginning. Supongo que. It's more common to say in Spanish when you're guessing to start saying I guess that blah 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 instead of putting it in the middle of the sentence. I know that in English it makes a lot of sense. So it's just like, again, it's the way I feel it. Okay, so don't worry about it too much. So supongo que. Oh, and by the way, we normally say supongo que. It's more common to put que as a connector to another idea. So, supongo que nuestra historia comienza con lo que los gemelos Blossom did this summer. Hicieron este verano. Summer. I think this is a really important word too. Verano, summer. On the 4th of July, el 4 de julio, on the 4th of July, el 4 de julio, just after dawn, right here, just after dawn. So I think I explained this before, but since now I'm writing it, I'm just gonna make sure that it's there. So I was looking for dawn, and in English it says that the dawn, or just dawn, is like the first light in the morning, right? So I look up for the translation, and it said madrugada. Madrugada, it's a word that I use but madrugada in Spanish is it has a different meaning. Madrugada, it's normally all the time that you spend, or the time of the day where everything is dark, like literally night. Like madrugada is not really exactly the first light of the morning. So dawn, in my opinion, here dawn, just after dawn. El 4 de julio, just after dawn. I would say justo al amanecer. So amanecer is like the sunrise, al amanecer. If you wanted to be a little bit more specific with just after dawn in English, probably I would say something like a la primera. I'm gonna put it actually. A la primera luz del día. This is an expression that you might find in books, or like, yeah, sometimes I guess in like movies or something. So it's very common to say a la primera luz del día, which literally means at the first light of the day. So it's kind of like describing dawn, right? So, okay, really close to finish this one. We're in 26 minutes already. Wow. Thank you again for those who are watching, these two people. The third one, it was actually me. So, but still, thank you so much for, for being here and just watching, even though I don't know who you are. I'm really happy that you guys are watching. So Jason and Cheryl, Jason E. Cheryl. Cheryl Blossom drove out to Sweetwater River. So I'm just gonna make sure that you guys can see it. Drove out to Sweetwater River. So here, I was struggling a lot with understanding what does this means, because I thought that they were using the phrasal verb to drive out, but I just learned that that is not applicable in this situation, in this part. So actually, this is a really difficult expression to translate in just a few words. In English, you can say they drove out to Sweetwater River, and that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. But okay, I'm gonna try to do it as short as possible, because it's not possible in my opinion. So Jason and Cheryl fueron en auto o en coche, fueron en coche hasta el río Sweetwater. Sería agua dulce. Not stretching it too much. So let me just read it just to see if I'm actually saying this correct. So, supongo que nuestra historia comienza con lo que los gemelos Blossom hicieron este verano. El 4 de julio, justo al amanecer, o a la primera luz del día, Jason y Cheryl Blossom fueron en coche hasta el río Agua Dulce. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Maybe this, I don't know, Netflix, or just, yeah, Netflix should hire me. I'm doing their job. Just kidding. Okay, for an early morning boat road. So fueron en coche hasta el río Agua Dulce para un paseo en bote. Oh, sorry. Paseo. Para un paseo en bote. No, para un paseo. For an early morning boat ride. That's too specific. I always say that English has so many specific words. Like, I understand if you say they went for an early morning boat ride. It's like describing it. I can see the picture in my mind, but in Spanish you cannot say the same. It's just like they already said that they went just after dawn. So justo al amanecer, a la primera luz del día. So it seems like I'm repeating myself. In English, I don't know if it's the same. If you, as a native speaker, would just sound like you're repeating yourself, or it's just normal. But I don't know. Let me just try to read it once more. I'm about to finish, but before I finish, I'm going to say something important, so you might want to stay. Entonces, supongo que nuestra historia comienza con lo que los gemelos Blossom hicieron este verano. El 4 de julio, justo al amanecer, o el 4 de julio, a la primera luz del día, Jason y Cheryl Blossom fueron en coche hasta el río Agua Dulce para un paseo en bote. Yeah, you can say muy temprano to match with early morning. Muy temprano, but it's like, to me personally, they're just repeating themselves. So I would just say para un paseo en bote, just like that, because I already said just after dawn, and it's like justo al amanecer or a la primera luz del día. Para un paseo en bote, para un paseo tempranero. No, doesn't make sense. Anyway, I'm about to finish this one, guys. Let me just make it a little bit smaller. Just reminding you that I'm doing on Fridays, I'm doing a Kahoot. It's completely for free. I'm going to be posting the last Friday. There were two people joining, which was kind of like cool. One person from the United States and another person from, was it Austria? No. I'm just, I forgot, but it was from North Europe. And it was kind of cool. They were practicing and we were having fun. So if you want to join one of those Kahoots, you can just send me a message, like you can comment on one of my videos, and I will send you the information on your if I will. How can I say that? Yeah, I will just give you the details. Okay, so these Kahoots are just for free. For free, quote unquote, because I would ask you to let me record, of course, the meeting, so I can put it on my YouTube channel. You don't have to show your face. If there's already one Kahoot that I posted a couple of days ago, you can go watch it if you want. You don't have to show your face. The only thing that you have to have in mind is that it would be better if you have a computer and a phone, or two phones, if you will, because we use one device for the video call and a second device for the Kahoot. If you don't have any idea of these things and you haven't tried them before, I can help you. I can explain you. It's not that complicated. And yeah, I think that's all. If you have any questions, I'll keep practicing my English through YouTube streamings, I guess. And I hope that at some point this is helpful for you. I know that the idea for me is that I'm just practicing. So like I said, I'm not expecting you to learn a lot. But if you do, I'm super glad that you're learning something. Even if you just learn the way I am, practicing or learning English, I think that might be even cooler than just teaching you something that you could find on YouTube or somewhere else, or just by you practicing. Okay, so I think that's all. Thank you so much for those two people who were watching. Now I feel like a pro. I feel like a famous YouTuber. Really, I hope that for some reason, I feel like you guys, if you guys are still watching, it's because you like it, you like the videos, whatever. Yeah, thank you so much, and see you guys in the next one. Adiós. Nos vemos, muchachos.